start by saying, okay, why are we here and what is the real work experience all about? 23.2% of design graduates get jobs in the creative sector, and that's not a lot really. So I think there's lots of amazing ways designers can actually use their talents outside of the design sector, and that's what we want to look at today. We want to look at the opportunities that are there and how we can actually help improve some public services through using design skills.
So from my experience, I think it's certainly true that there's a ever-growing belief that design can make a difference, and I think the question is just how for most students find it. I think they find it really difficult to think how. They got grand ideas, but I think they kind of struggle to apply it.
Our experience of working with designers is that you bring fresh eyes, you give some focus to quite complex situations. I was initially very attracted to it because of the benefits of working that I found with designers in the public sector, so I wanted to share those experiences.
There's loads of these untapped opportunities within the public sector, so from a student point of view I think definitely great potential there.
And I think what was really interesting coming out of the discussions is the key role of design education structured in that way. So if we're really serious,
it hadn't occurred to me that this wasn't something that we were doing in terms of looking at the public sector as a suitable venue for student placements.
And really interesting to know, to talk to people who aren't designers and to realise that people do value design thinking as well, which is something that I was kind of quite surprised by really. It's great that people have a real understanding of what designers can bring to different situations.
And the language that's used around design can be a put-off and a turn-off for people in the public sector.
There is evidently a big gulf between what they know of what we as designers can do and say about their situations and the sort of language that makes that useful.
I thought it was really important to go through the process, but 80% of my course were on their Final Cut Pro or Quark Express, making a book or as opposed to working with people.
The basic idea of what thinkpublic's trying to do with this is fantastic, and I think work placements will be a really key part of this.
In here we're kind of talking, I guess we're talking more about design of kind of service design and using design skills rather than the traditional design.
And I think also for young designers to realise that they don't necessarily that they're being trained not necessarily just for a design sector job, that they're developing a whole load of skills around creative thinking and thinking about processes that would feed into a vast array of roles, not just in industry but in the public sector.
And actually maybe what we should be doing is applying stronger business models to the say the public sector work or the stuff that's traditionally going to be charitable or something like that, to make it sustainable in itself.
It's opened up this whole new thing to me of the scope of public sector things and the potential there. I think it's been really good to get a mixture of designers, educators, students, graduates kind of in a room.
So in a short space of time I think we've achieved a lot.